Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Boomer Ground podcast. We're going to talking about the phase blowing up. We're going to talk about Popeye's collaboration and a little bit about magic. But first, let's talk about what's been going on with you, Howard. How was your Christmas
Well,
holidays?
it was good. It was busy but good. As you know, last week I talked about driving all over the goddamn place, but we survived it.
Yeah,
So it was good. How was your holiday?
it wasn't too bad. So we actually didn't have to go anywhere on Christmas Day because normally we either go to my in-laws or my brother's house for on Christmas
Mhm.
Day. Hold on a second. What was going on? Okay. So my wife's like, you could cook a turkey. I'm like, okay, sure. So this is like 2 days before Christmas. So I go into Walmart and there's like no small turkeys
At
left.
that point,
Yeah. So we're like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna buy the smallest thing is like 5 to 7 kilos, which is like 11 to like 15 pounds. It's like the smallest turkeys they
okay.
have. There's only three of us.
Yeah, that's like a week's worth of eating for your size family.
Yeah, so I bought one and I cooked it up and we ate like a breast and like one thigh of the turkey. And we had all this turkey left over. But I had stripped off a bunch of meat and made broth out of it. And I'm gonna make some turkey sandwiches. But yeah,
Nice.
we had a lot of turkey. And I spatchcocked that thing for the first time ever. And it turned out very moist and juicy. And it only cooked in like under 2 hours, which is pretty sweet. So
You
much
did
faster.
what to it?
Spatchcocked is when you take out the backbone and kind of lay it out flat. It's called spatchcocking, and
Oh, we
it
call that
cooks.
we call that butterflying in the States.
No, I think it's still called spatchcock when it comes to birds, because I
Oh,
think it's
okay. So it's
done
a
more done
bird
more.
thing. Okay.
It's a bird thing, yeah,
Because I've butterflied thick cut steaks and stuff like that to
yeah,
do exactly what you're talking about doing.
yeah. So they do this for turkeys, and I think it's just done for birds because they know, and it cooks it way faster. Like instead of like 6 hours to roast your turkey, it's like
Oh yeah.
2 hours, and it cooks it much more evenly. Like the breast meat was really juicy and everything still, which was really nice. And because normally when you cook it slow for a long time, the breast kind of dries out a little. So that turned out really well.
Yes.
I was like, wow, this actually tastes like turkey dinner. I go, what do you expect it to taste like? He goes, oh, it's like her dad used to own a restaurant, but now we're pretty sure his taste buds are just fried now. So either everything's either really salty or totally bland. So he's like, yeah, this actually tastes
Yeah.
like turkey dinner. I'm so used to my dad's, which has like no flavor at all. This actually has like
I
seasoning and
remember
stuff.
you telling me this. I
Yeah,
remember you telling me this last year that you're like, it's something you look forward to, but at the same time, you're like, oh, I don't want to eat this.
my father-in-law is a horrendous cook now. They really enjoy like cooking stuff like a day ahead and just like leaving it in the oven to keep it warm,
Oh
and then it gets
no.
really dry. It's like,
Oh
oh look,
no.
we cooked prime rib yesterday night, and now it's been sitting in the oven for like
So,
15 hours.
oh my God. That's a crime.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's
a
just like, oh,
crime.
like more gravy. Need more gravy.
Hey, It
Oh,
is it is freezing here in Connecticut, and tomorrow is our big annual party at the brewery.
yeah.
So I always coordinate with the brewery folks a couple days in advance, and I didn't hear from them until literally an hour ago.
Oh, that's not good.
And he was like, yeah, just so you know, we planned on keeping the food hall closed because they have like a little restaurant across the street. They call it the food hall.
Yeah.
Um, because of the holiday, we were going to keep it closed. It normally doesn't open on Wednesday nights anyway. Blah blah blah. He goes, and I was counting on having pizza available because they have a deal with a local pizza place called Zupardi's out of New Haven, and they get like flash frozen pizzas from Zupardi's, and they just have a little pizza oven, tiny little pizza oven, and they just cook them to order. Um, well, they have like four varieties, but it's an easy option. He's like, we were going to have pizza available, but we kind of got slammed this week with everybody being off, so I literally have no food. And so now I am sitting here going, I have about 15 hours to figure out how to pull it off a party at the brewery because they're closing their restaurant and they've run out of pizza. So Christy's over in the other room right now, coordinating with the other people who help run this thing, saying, "Guys, do we just like everybody fend for themselves, kind of thing?" I mean, it's supposed to be it's an informal gathering anyway. It's not like it's a big deal. Like it's not
Yeah.
like we promise people snacks, but we like to bring something, you know. So it's gonna be like, oh, hey, so we're kind of working on that and just trying to get that. But that'll be fun. Christy also is gonna try to convince me after I'm like 4 or 5 beers in tomorrow to live stream from the brewery. So if you
That's gonna be
if
interesting.
sometime if sometime between noon and 5 p.m. you see Howard Moon goes live on Twitch, be prepared for me to be slurring my way through the worst IRL stream you've ever seen. It'll probably last a minute and a half, and I'll probably be talking like one of those people who like go to like the Grand Canyon and go, "I'm using this beautiful scenery to manifest positivity in my life," like shit like that. And so keep an eye out, folks. If you're watching us on Kick right now, watch for the Only Howard Moon stream to go live between 12 and 5 tomorrow, because if it does, it means someone has gotten me drunk enough to convince me to push the go button. So
Well, maybe Popeyes is going to be the solution to your problem because they launched a bunch of collabs with a bunch of streamers today for streamer meals. So maybe Popeyes can be your solution.
I gotta open the app and order like 12 streamer meals for delivery.
Exactly. You could order like two of each. Have you looked at these? They actually don't sound that bad.
I
The
haven't.
streamer
I
bundles.
haven't yet.
So we'll go through them
What do we
quickly.
got?
The
Yeah,
the
let's
I don't know why this
it's
is.
got time.
Yeah, hold on. So the first one is the Cinna bundle. It's 2 chicken sandwiches, 6 boneless wings, home style mac and cheese, and Cajun fries. I'm like, I don't think Cinna could eat all that by herself.
That's
These
at
definitely
least
do
a meal
not.
for two.
Yeah, I know these are definitely all like meals for multiple people.
Yeah,
Extra
this is like that. I
Emily.
mean, yeah.
Mhm. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's at least two. That's two people if they're starving. It's 3 or 4 people normal.
Yeah, I mean probably not 3 or 4 people. It's only 6 wings and 2 sandwiches, but still, like probably two people.
I'll have a
Good people.
sandwich. You have the wings, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, because extra Emily bundle is 3-piece tender order, spicy chicken sandwich, 2 pieces of chicken, homestyle mac and cheese, and fries. Uh, Agent meal, 3 pieces of chicken, 3 tenders, spicy chicken sandwich, 2 regular fries. Lacey bundle, 3 pieces of chicken, 6 bone-in wings, chicken sandwich, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese.
Hmm.
Rakai bundle, 3 pieces of chicken, white meat, 6 boneless wings, 3 tenders, mac and cheese, and Cajun fries. I don't know who Tori is. Tori bundle, 6 bone-in lemon pepper wings, 3 spicy tenders, chicken sandwich, mac and cheese, and fries. And Cooking with Kaya, who I also don't know. 3 classic tenders, spicy chicken sandwich, 3 pieces of chicken, home style mac and cheese, and Cajun fries. All these
I,
available, but only order digitally with the app or on the website.
oh, if I can get it delivered, this might be the solution.
I mean, 2 of each bundle. You have enough people, enough food to feed like 24 people. And you can,
We usually pull 20 to 30 people at this
yeah,
event, so that's about right. I mean, if I get like four bundles, I think I'm pretty covered.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's pretty nice that these streamers are getting this big collab with Popeyes, where a pretty big chain. This is like the first major collab that can remember. There was one with Kai Cenat and McDonald's, I think earlier in the year.
Faze had, I know we're going to talk about Faze Clan in a few minutes, but Faze had a partnership with an energy drink. Was it Red Bull? There was
Yeah,
there was a Faze Clan edition energy drink, and it was a brand I knew. I think it was Red Bull. So yeah, but that's and the reason I bring that, the reason that it comes to my mind is because we're talking about Faze Clan. It was Ghost. It was Ghost. Ghost Energy Drinks had a deal with Faze Clan. Um, is that I've been reading a lot about the Faze Clan stuff. Excuse me. And one of the things that came out of it was, and I know we're gonna get into more detail in a second, but streamer organizations are largely starting to learn that the partnerships with commercial industry is what drives their business. You
yeah,
can't rely on things like subs and in-ad viewing and everything. It's those partnerships like Popeyes are really going to start driving the industry. It was very interesting on it. So I'm glad to see it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming because those are all names that people will recognize. I knew all but one or two of those names, and I'm a boomer. So
Yeah,
you know, keep
exactly.
it
Like
coming.
it's definitely good that they're collaborating with these mainstream like fast food industry stuff. Like good marketing for them, and probably drives up a fair bit of business. Like people want to try out. Like if they're a Cinna fan, they want to go get like the Cinna bundle and all that sort of stuff. Right? Seems like it's a pretty good deal for both sides.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a win-win. It's a known brand with known
Yeah,
streamers. It's a great idea.
yeah. Let's talk about Phase. So essentially, on Christmas Day, almost all the notable Faze Clan members all left Faze Clan, and Faze Clan is in shambles. I think they also got sold. Is that right? They got sold to
Yeah.
Aiden Ross. And
Earlier that happened, I believe.
no, no, no.
Or no,
I
that or
know.
was that resold?
I think it got resold. I know. Like so, Faze Clan was the owner of DraftKings bought like a big chunk of Faze Clan a few
That's what
years
I was
back.
thinking of.
But I thought Aiden Ross like made an offer to buy Faze Clan a few days ago for like $20 million, and I'm not sure if it actually got accepted. Hold on, let me go take a look.
So while Terry's looking that up, I did a little bit. I didn't see the Aiden Ross piece. I didn't see the Aiden Ross piece of this, but for folks who want a little background of this, Faze Clan, like Terry said, had a massive investment from one of the guys who owned DraftKings. Basically, took over operation of it. All of the core members, their contracts were scheduled to expire at the end of this year. A couple days before Christmas, according to the reports from the creators themselves and their goodbye messages, they came out and said that the Faze Clan said, we can no longer sustain this model. So we have a couple of different options you can do. You could take a smaller cut in the contract, or we can put you on as individual contractors. And Faze Clan, like in en masse, decided we are not having this anymore and walked. And
Yeah,
apparently it was kind of the last straw. They're all already upset about the way that the organization was being controlled by the DraftKings guy. So it really has kind of just literally probably the most recognizable stream team on Twitch fell apart seemingly overnight.
yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't find it. I think the Aiden Ross Faze thing may have just been like clickbait or something.
Well,
Because
he's commented on them before, and I've seen articles from last year where he talked about wanting to buy into it. So I don't know. Um, I have no idea, but it's really, and it goes back to what I was just saying about the partnership thing. You cannot build a model for an esports organization slash stream team solely off of ad revenue and subs. It's just not gonna. You have got to get those partnerships going, and you've got to make them consistent, or you're not going to bring in the revenue. So, it's sad to see. I mean, Faze was very recognizable. Faze Adapt just won a major award at the Streamer Awards.
yeah,
I think it was a breakout. I think it was Breakout Streamer of the Year he won because that was the lady who stormed up on stage and channeled her inner Kanye and was like, "No,
yeah,
not him." So it's sad, but I think the model going forward has to be different than what we've done in the past, and we've seen other teams kind of adjust before this. Like, remember when Team Liquid actually had a Hearthstone team?
yeah,
I mean, they had an active full Hearthstone roster of like 8 creators, including Slissa, who was like the one who I had never heard of Team Liquid before I started watching her stream. So I think we're going to see a shift in the business methodology with regards to these teams, and I think it's a good idea because I think these teams do have value. They definitely have interest. Faze was huge. They had thousands of viewers. So, what's your take on all of this?
yeah. So, well, supposedly they're asking for 20% of everyone's revenue to get kicked back to the org, which wasn't done previously. 'Cause this was their way of like maintaining like a revenue stream, and everyone was just like, "What? We don't want to give you 20% of our money." And this was like a big breaking point. Also, supposedly, what I read was Faze Banks, who was one of the original guys, left the
Yep.
organization like 4 months ago, and he went to go
Yep.
worked with another organization. I can't remember the name. Essentially, that organization was a marketing team that was working for Phase or at Phase as a customer. So he was kind of controlling what they were getting offered without technically being part of them. And there is some animosity about that because he supposedly quit the team and then still trying to be like in charge. Let me go find that name. There's so much stuff about this stuff. It's and being old, I can't remember anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
it's yeah, and Banks left in 2023. That when the Game Square acquisition happened, and that's the other thing that Faze Clan made a massive mistake in doing, which was going public.
yeah,
They decided to become a publicly traded company. Massive mistake. Um, Listen, you want to protect your interests, you form an LLC, you keep it private. You don't have to worry about the kinds of things that a public owned company does, and that's the biggest mistake that they made. Um, yeah, I can't. It's a cautionary tale to be sure, and I think some of the other organizations will learn from it, and I think that we will see some improvement. But you know, you cannot have contracts with people and then say, by the way, your the new renegotiation standard is a 20% cut of all of your proceeds. You're not that's like that's like and nothing against when I say this, that's like being in a union where a union walks in the door and says, well, we're representing you, but we take this much of your paycheck in
yeah.
dues. That's not what this is. I mean, there's rules around that kind of thing, and you can't just change it on the fly like that. So I don't blame the members at all for making the change. I think that they did the right thing for them. And here's the bottom line: their audience is going to follow them. When you
Yeah.
build an audience like that, it's going to follow you. And that, I mean, we talked about this the other week when we talked about, oh well, people going to kick and everything, but audience will follow. They usually do. So these guys are going to be fine. And it's just, I think at the end of the day, it's just a cautionary tale for the business side of streaming and the business side of esports. And my oldest nephew, is studying business administration right now. He wants to go into esports management. I hope to God he's reading this because this is like a how to not get it done.
I mean, the probably the reason they went public was to be able to have access to better
No capital.
investors. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't
But
attract
that
like the owner of DraftKings by not being public. It seems or like plan to go public soon.
but you know what? There's other ways and there's better ways for that kind of industry to raise capital. Is my
Yeah,
point. And we're seeing this now when you look at what's going on in like entertainment and like TV and stuff like that. We're seeing consolidation. We're seeing like Paramount buying out Warner Brothers, buying out HBO, they're all consolidating because the model is constricting and entertainment is being absorbed in different ways now, like Twitch. So, what was a standard 20 or 30 years ago is no longer a standard. And we're all adapting to that new reality. And I think at this point now we're going to start to see streamers have to adapt to.
yeah. Like what I read on some pages is if they originally came out with the 20% when the people first signed up, probably they would have
Yep.
been more okay with it. But I think asking for it like as part of the renegotiations probably a massive no go because like no one wants to give it up after be able to see the fruits of the work already for like the first year or first couple of years of it.
Yeah. Stop and think about this from the creator's perspective. They spent what, almost 15 years building up this brand, and then they go corporate, and the new corporate overlords walk in and go, by the way, great job, everybody. We're going to need 20% of your profits. What? No, no, no. I built this brand. I not you. You know, I don't know if you saw it, but in similar news, there's now a lawsuit involving the World Wrestling Entertainment (WWE), in which because Vince McMahon divested himself from the company, um, and there's now rumors he did so in such a way that screwed over his shareholders because it was an offer that would allow him to remain creative control. So basically, he wasn't a part of the company anymore, but he was in the background pulling strings. He was still basically running the company like as a shadow boss,
Yeah.
and he took a lesser offer to make it happen. Again, when you run a publicly traded company, what you want doesn't matter. It's what your shareholders want. And when corporate bosses walk in and start making demands on the people who built the thing up, it's going to go poorly. This is a very cautionary tale. I hope some good comes out of it, and I'm sure I have no doubt the Faze guys are going to land on their feet, so I'm not worried about them. But I just hope it's something that we can avoid happening to other teams.
Yeah, like I was feeling like the actual Phase brand might actually be dead. Like there's talk
Oh
that
yeah,
everyone that left might just create their own org and just restart from there. But it seems really
yes,
bad for the Phase brand. They lost like all their top creators.
yeah.
Uh, there's something I didn't bring up beforehand, but you talking about WD made me remember about it. Supposedly,
Go
Jake
for it.
Paul is being sued because he's currently about to go sell his $5.7 million Pokemon card or something. And supposedly, he sold individual shares of the card to through a
Oh, I did
company
see this.
through a company called, I can't remember the company name. I was just looking it up. Um, but through a company that supposedly rugged everyone, and everyone's like no longer able to like get their shares of the card. But
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, it's the company's fault, it's not mine. They screwed you over, I bought it back from the company or something along those lines. And but turns out he was actually one of the owners of that company. That
So, who
yeah.
screwed you? Me or
Yeah,
corporate me?
exactly. Yeah, so there's a lot of controversy about the this card. It literally, once you start talking about it, it made me think about Jake Paul and like the company that's got screwed, because supposedly people are out a lot of money.
So
Uh,
can I ask a background question on this? Did you say
yeah,
a $5 million Pokemon card
yeah, it's like
singular?
5.7 million or something,
How is a single Pokemon card worth that much money?
because it's like the rarest card there is, and it's the only one in PSA 10.
Oh, it's the okay. I'm just gonna say, I'm like, listen, Magic the Gathering is way older, and we all
Yeah,
know any of us played Magic the Gathering long enough know the legends of the Black Lotus cards and how expensive they could be.
yeah.
But I don't think a single Magic card in my experience has reached $5.7 million.
Yeah, I think the highest selling Magic card is something over like $1 or $2 million for a PSA
That's
10 Black Lotus.
insane.
I think there's actually a lot. There were a lot more copies of the Alpha Black Lotus that were printed than this Pokemon Illustrator card. So I think this
Makes
was
sense.
just an original sample or something that came out, and I don't know the details. I don't follow Pokemon at all. Uh,
I still have locked away in my closet a rare card from my Star Trek CCG days. It's a foil that was only available at like the 1995 World Championships. And one of my buddies qualified that year and drove to Florida to play. And it was like $5, just $5. He put it in a hard plastic for me, a screw down plastic. And it's been sitting on a shelf in a box ever since. And once in a great while, I'll go online and see is anybody buying this. And the last time I checked, there was a card seller out in the Midwest who was trying to amass multiple copies of this and was offering like $300 a copy. And I'm like, gonna sit on it. This card is just aging gracefully and it's plastic. Just let it sit there, never touched human hands. I'm not even sending it off to be graded. That guy clears like $1,000. He's going on the market right away.
yeah. Okay, so the company was called Liquid Marketplace.
Uh
They
huh.
sold off fractionalized ownership of the card at a $5 million valuation, with Paul retaining 49% ownership. But supposedly he purchased back the interest, Liquid Marketplace interest in the card for 250,000 in May of 2024, which is yeah, seems very shady.
Wait. He purchased back the 51% he optioned out
Yeah.
and
Well,
paid
maybe
them
not all of it
so
got sold, to be fair. I don't know the details. But yeah,
but
51% was available.
excuse me. He reacquired that
Yeah.
51%
Yeah.
at $250,000,
Yeah.
which is 10% of what that share's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
If it's a $5 million card and he sold half of it, that's $2.5 million. That
Yeah.
sounds really shady.
Yeah. It sounds really shady. Like it definitely was. Um, yeah, some shady shit going on there. Supposedly the company is Canadian based, although I think Logan Paul is definitely one of the owners of the company, which just makes
That's
it like
insane.
look even worse. Yeah.
Guys, listen, we're in a new age now with streaming entertainment becoming what it is. There's going to be a million people out there telling you how you can make a quick buck off of it. Listen to the Popeyes of the world. Don't listen to the liquid shares people of the world. If it sounds too easy, it probably freaking is.
Yeah. Yeah, but since we're also talking about
I'd heard that in passing. I had not heard the details of that. That is just I'm shaking my head at that.
yeah, I wasn't sure about how much it got resold for until I pulled up this article here. I know that it was fractionalized and sold off, which isn't
It's
that
insane.
uncommon. I know they do that a lot
No.
for art and stuff, where you could buy like percentages of famous pieces of artwork, and they just hold it as an asset, and then they can resell it at a later date, or they have someone like it's like a like a hedge fund equivalent where just buy in for a piece. But yeah, I didn't know how much
And and
we reacquired it for.
and the companies themselves will do this.
Yeah.
I've told you about. Have I ever told you about the Gretzky story from the National Sports Card Collectors Convention?
No.
Two
Oh, I
second
think
story.
yeah.
I'm at the National Sports Card Collection Convention. There's always these pack openings. A dude at the booth next to me opens a pack of Upper Deck hockey and pulls a one of one rare card, Wayne Gretzky, with a piece of his jersey and a stick and a puck from his final game, all embedded in this card. And of course, immediately all alarm bells going off all over the place. It was Upper Deck. Upper Deck has got people taking pictures. Here come guys in suits. And after all the hubbub dies down, I'm standing there just as part of the crowd watching this going on. I'm like, my God, that's amazing. The guy in the suit goes, of course, we're going to want to talk about acquiring this. Come with us. And that guy disappeared, and I didn't see him the rest of the show. But Upper Deck obviously, shuttled him into the back and said, here's our offer for you to leave that card with us so that we can repackage this and do it again because it's the only card in existence that's like that.
Oh, I don't
So
necessarily know if
these
they will
kinds of things,
repackage. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
or they'll put it in a plastic. Maybe they auction it off. But they want to retain sometimes they want to retain those cards and those pieces. So it was very interesting to watch. I wonder if he actually got what if he ever took the offer, but you know, there's a lot of these rare pieces. They don't want to pass. They want them out there because they want the photo op and they want people to say, "Oh my God, that could have been me. I'm going to go buy another box." But it doesn't happen all that often, and they do make efforts to try and retain the stuff.
Yeah, like I know, like a lot of companies like Fanatics and stuff, they'll offer like discounted fees and stuff if you sell on their platform. And same with
Yep,
Golden. Like the reason the Pokemon card is going for sale on Golden is they offered like Jake Paul a big discount on fees and all this and guarantee of how much it's worth, how much they'll give them for it, and all that sort of stuff to sell it through. It's
sure.
gonna be like the prime piece of marketing for their big auction coming up. So I think it's not unusual that companies like that will want to will want to acquire these big signature pieces to for marketing purposes, right? Like I know that
Hmm.
the Paul Skeens one of one got bought by Dick's Hard, no, one of the big sporting good chains. Uh,
Oh, Dick's or
is it Dick's?
Sports Authority.
No, I
Sports
think it's
Authority even
Dick's.
still a thing?
Is Dick's a big sporting good
Oh,
chains in the U.S.? Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Dick's is huge in the US.
so it got bought by Dick's to put into their Pittsburgh location. There's like $1 million, like 1.1 million for their, Paul Skeen's one of one card, and they just like put it up in their display in their Pittsburgh location because it's good marketing. Like there's grand opening of the store, they got a
Oh,
collectible
sure.
section, $1 million, it's still an asset. They hope it retains value. It doesn't cost
And
them, too much.
if you're ever interested, you can get stuff from that store by visiting www.dix.com. They do own that domain, but
Yeah.
I can tell you from experience, there was a time that they did not own that domain, and I thought they did, and I went somewhere I was not supposed to be.
There's also a burger chain in Seattle called Dick's. That's actually quite good, but I don't think they
Is it?
own. Yeah, it's
I've
quite
never
good.
heard of them. I would love. I do love me a good burger.
Yeah, you can't make any. They kind of like pre-make all their burgers because they're so busy, so you can't make like any sort of adjustments. So and they're quite cheap, right? So they're a very popular chain. I think they have like they have like three restaurants in the Seattle area. And everyone's like,
And
"Oh yeah,
they're
I've
based on
been."
volume, then, right? They're just
Yeah,
get them
yeah,
in, get them out.
yeah. And they're good burgers. Like everyone loves them, and they're pretty affordable. It's like like a cheeseburger is like $3 or something. So it's, and then just like this, you cannot make any changes. So if you go in there right before closing, you can only order what's still left over at the end of the day, which we did a couple of times when we like flew back from Seattle. We're like, it's midnight, let's go get some dicks, which sounds a little odd.
We're going to Seattle to get some dicks.
Yeah, and the bag says bag of dicks on it and all that sort of stuff. But
Oh
it's
my
it's
god,
been
that's
around
awesome.
forever. It's been around
I
for like
loved it.
since as long as I can remember, at least like 30 years since I was playing Magic. They were around and
Awesome.
they're bag of dicks. Let's see what else were we going to talk about today. Oh yeah, the Magic article. USA Today posted an article about what was the guy's name? Joshua.
Oh,
What's
now
his
I don't
name?
have it in front of me, so
Joseph Johnson talking about how Magic the Gathering helped them create a real community in the Columbus,
yeah.
Columbus area for the LGBTQ community and stuff. There's like
And in the it was the black community too.
yeah, the
They
black and the
specifically were talking about it.
LGBTQ community. Um, I honestly remember the Magic audience being very accepting of the community when I was playing Magic
Yeah.
back in the day. Like they're like everyone understood because all of us were just nerds and geeks,
Yep.
especially like way back then. We'd be way
Yep.
more accepting of people. We don't make fun of anyone, and we'd be super accepting of LGBTQ people and black
Oh
people and
yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So like, I'm surprised that this got brought to attention like 30 years later that it was used to create a community, which is obviously a good thing. It actually got featured on USA Today, which is why it got
Yeah.
brought to our attention. But I was just like, I always remember it being very open and stuff with that community. But maybe things changed in the middle ground when Magic got pushed a little more to the forefront, and maybe some more Chads were in the market, causing problems in the community. Like, did you ever
Yeah.
have any
Maybe.
experiences of problems when you were playing like just tabletop games or card games in general?
No, that in my experience with the tabletop community, and there's a there was actually, it has not recovered from COVID. We used to go to a convention here in Connecticut twice a year. We made a lot of friends at that event. The guy who runs my D&D campaign that I occasionally stream is a friendship that we made there. Um, that community has been so inclusive and so welcoming and open. But I also think that there's just cultural lines that just evolve organically. Unfortunately, for socioeconomic reasons, for locational reasons, things like that, that tend to put some hobbies and some groups in kind of like their own silo. And
Yeah,
I think tabletop gaming and maybe for a little while Magic did that. And it's not intentional. It's not like Magic is trying to exclude people, but if you're in if you're in an economic situation where you can't afford any of the cards, how the hell do you take up the hobby kind of thing? You know, I think that now that is changing a little bit. People are starting to discover the game a little bit more, and I think it is. It is Magic and tabletop gaming is what it's always been about, which is community building, getting together, having fun, a shared experience, that kind of thing. But I think that what's changing now is we are seeing some groups who have formerly felt like they were on the outside of that realize that it's not that daunting. It's not that hard to get into now. It's not that scary. The first time I went to a tabletop convention, I was petrified. I had no idea
yeah.
what I was walking into. I absolutely was scared to death. A year later, I was running games. So it is a very, very welcoming community. And I'm glad to see that. I mean, there's guys in that article on USA Today. And if you want to see the article, it's on USA Today's website and it's entitled How Black Nerds Are Turning a Fantasy Card Game into a Real Community. There are guys in there who are like, Magic helped get me out of the street mentality. I was on the streets and I was doing things, and I think one guy said I think I'd be dead at this point in the article. So it's the tabletop and card gaming communities are so open and accepting of a lot of different people. I can tell you right now, I have never faced intolerance in that group of people, and I've sat next to every kind of person you could possibly imagine. I'm happy to see it. The more people can build that kind of community, the better the community becomes.
Do you think the intolerance was more from like online forums than actual live forums? Because I could see that happening.
Absolutely, it's possible. We've had that conversation before, right? People
Yeah,
go online and use the anonymity of the internet to say things that they would never say to your face, right? That they just take advantage of that anonymity. So yes, I think that could be it. I definitely think that access to the hobby has been a little limited. I mean, even in the last couple of years, and you guys know the shelf behind me. I've got over 100 games back there of varying shapes and sizes. I just put like 6 or 7 into a bag for the brewery trip tomorrow. I'm very excited. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw Terry in person, I taught him the game That's Not Lemonade,
yeah.
and that's one of the games that's coming with us. Um, so yeah, we just and that was the day we flew into Missouri. And we're just Terry's like, I'm not tired yet. I'm like, oh, come down to my room. Let's play a tabletop game for a few minutes. Um, but yes, I do think the internet can be a harsh place for those kinds of things. I do think it's scary for some people. I don't think people understand that the community is not that scary. Um, but yeah, I mean it's definitely something I like seeing grow, and I'm happy to see people finding purpose in it and finding that it's a positive experience. You know,
Yeah,
because you're
that
right. There's a lot of online that's not that positive and welcoming.
yeah, I think that may have a lot to do with it. Like when people that are like black or LGBTQ just are content creators or just voices of
Yep.
the game and put themselves online, they open themselves up to a lot of hate, which could have been
Yes.
why this community may have felt like a little more excluded, or people of those communities thought it might be harder to be included. But I've never experienced any sort of hate or any of that sort of stuff. Like the only hate we had were for people that were being jerks, and nothing
And
to
you're
do
gonna
with
find that
their skin color or their sexual preference or any of that sort of stuff. Right? Like if you're a jerk, which is universal, it's universal. You can have jerks of any sort of race or sexuality, and
Mhm.
those are the people that got hated on, not because of color, because everyone was just like, we're just here to play a game. Like, also, I think Magic is born out of just like people playing casual games at home. Like, I think most of the people are just that group, right? It's not necessarily about
Yep.
competitive areas, and just having access to cards. I think probably a little easier nowadays. Cards are much more readily available. Like everywhere you see them at
Yes.
like Stop, you see them at Target. You see them all over the place. The price on Magic is relatively affordable compared to stuff like Pokemon now, which I've seen like the price of Pokemon packs are like $10 pack a pack. And you can still get
Yeah.
Magic for like five. And even if you just go to like stores and just buy like, cheap cards, it's still readily available. And you could just have fun with those cards, right? Like it's not the border the barrier of entry I think is much lower than it was back then. I think actually it might be the same, but I think just a lot more accessible now than it was back in my day. Like you only get stuff at gaming stores, and it's
Yes.
hard to find. And now it's just like everywhere.
In our area, it was always bookstores. We didn't have a lot of gaming stores.
Yeah,
Comic shops or bookstops. That's where then we
yeah,
found Magic cards. But just to give you an idea, the oldest game on my shelf is a copy of Lords of Waterdeep. Fantastic tabletop game, D&D setting, and I paid $25 for that about a decade ago. Actually, it was probably yes, it would be about 12 years ago. I paid $25 for that copy of that board game. The exact same game reprinted right now is going for $45 at every major toy store right now. It's
yeah,
almost doubled in price. Magic cards haven't increased that much compared to other tabletop hobbies. So, and particularly you said compared to Pokemon, like what's the average pack of Magic cards these days? Like $5? They were $3 when I was playing. That's
yeah.
a much
I mean
smaller
the
increase compared to some other hobbies.
yeah the low quote unquote low end Magic packs, which are still the packs of the current set. I think they're like $4 or $5 still, like the play boosters. I think the cheapest
I was
Pokemon packs I've seen at least at my wife's work, they're like $9 or $10 a pack now, and they were like $3 back when I was playing.
that's I mean there was a time where they were very similar.
Yeah,
The prices were very similar. A pack of Pokemon was $2.99. Pack of Magic was $2.99 to $3.50, somewhere around there. And then this disparity just grew. And so accessibility has gotten better, as you pointed out. The price point has gotten better compared to its peers. It's going to draw more attention.
yeah. I've always been a big fan of Magic. The only thing about Magic was how expensive it is to play at a competitive level. Like,
Yes.
but like as a game, I think it is a great game. It's a great strategy game, and games are always different. Like that's one of the things I'm big on. That it's not always as reputable. I guess if you play the same decks against someone over and over again, it becomes very boring, which I discussed earlier. But yeah, but it looks like uh, this creator, whose name I forgot again, Joseph Johnson, has created a great community. He's done like all sorts of things. He created like foundations and a big the cookout and stuff, which is like a celebration on Juneteenth with magic and all these sort of things. And it sounds like he's done like a great job cultivating his. I don't know if it necessarily was his fame for magic, but definitely creating the community that he created and turning it into definitely a great thing, which is really nice because like it's always good when you see people give back to the community. Like it's always something I try to do when I try to like
Yeah.
create do like charity streams or charity fundraisers and stuff, and just use the people I know to help raise for people that are less fortunate, and that's always a good thing.
I'm just
uh
looking right now because I have not played in a while. I'm seeing all over Amazon a play booster box for a set called Duskmorn. That must be a relatively newer one or recent one.
I think the most recent set is Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. When you get into like the theme sets, yeah.
Yeah,
So, but I'm seeing it like $138 a box. That's like, and those are usually what 36 packs in a box.
yeah,
So you're talking $4, four
yeah,
dollars per pack, and and it's Amazon. I have no idea. Maybe this is a rarer set, and I don't understand it. That's possible. Spider-Man Play Booster Box, 30 packs, $107.
yeah,
That's under $4 a pack, guys.
yeah,
It's much more affordable than most of the other card games out there.
yeah. It's definitely very affordable. I like they're crossing IPs to get more people into the game, but supposedly there's a lot of people that play Magic nowadays saying they're just like too much because it feels like every month or two there's a new IP coming out for the game. either through secret layers, which is like their you just buy like a special set of cards, or through like sets like Spider-Man. Because supposedly Spider-Man
Yeah.
flopped really badly, but
Really?
stuff like Final Fantasy and some of the other ones like took off like crazy, and Lord of the Rings and stuff. Like the One Ring sold for
Oh, the
like a
Lord of
million
the
dollars.
Rings set.
Yeah,
Like, doesn't Post Malone or own the One Ring?
yeah. The one of one ring. He paid like $1 million or something for it. Yeah,
Like, that's that. Why don't we pull that shit out of packs, Terry? Come on, we've opened a lot of cards. Where's our one of ones?
because I don't open cards anymore. I haven't opened cards in a long time. Ironically, I watch a lot of sports card stuff on YouTube, and even though I haven't opened or touched a sports card in like 2 or 3 decades, I like watching it. But the pricing of that stuff is so expensive. Like
It
I,
is.
I don't know why I would want to spend that much on it. It's such high risk, low reward. Well, I guess technically high reward because some cards are huge, but like such a low floor on those cards.
Like buying scratch off tickets.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to win $50,000, but it's
yeah,
probably not you.
yeah,
But you can keep buying tickets until you pull one, or you find out that you run out of money. It's absolutely, yeah. I've liked watching that stuff too, so I can't blame you.
yeah. I mean, like you've seen the prices of cards like over the last like 3 4 years just go skyrocketing. Like the cost of just packs and stuff, like
Yeah.
how much they've gotten to, just like it's ridiculous. Like how are like they supposed to acquire all these new kids into the hobby when like a single pack is like $20 or something or way more, right? Like I guess they have their
I
low end
used to.
sets, but like oh my god, it's just so expensive, and the low end sets
It
have like no
is.
value.
When I used to
Yeah,
run tournaments in the Star Trek community, I used to have boxes of donation cards.
yeah,
Like, you could always spot the guy who bought a pre-made deck and is just wants to try the game out. I would pull those guys aside after the tournament was over and be like, "Hey, do you need some cards?" And I would literally have 500 count boxes there for them to go through and say, "You can take whatever you want out of this box."
that's
Because like you said, you had to be competitive. You had to keep up, and you weren't playing one deck. So even if you were playing something that was only using one or two copies, you had to have 7 or 8 copies of usable cards if you wanted to be able to compete. So I always had, but that means you generate a whole shit ton of common and uncommon cards, or cards that don't get used as often, because that always happens when a game is around a long time. Older cards become victims of the power creep. So I used to do that just to try and encourage people to come back. Like, you don't have to spend a ton of money here. I can help you get started, and then you can just fill in the hobby as you want to go. And it's a kind of pay it forward moment. And I think that we see that too in Magic sometimes too.
yeah.
I've seen that at tournaments too, where people just like toss stuff around and give cards to younger players. I love to see that.
Oh yeah, if you want to just grab commons and uncommons, especially at like the marquee events, because I know when
Yep.
we used to go to marquee events, we would always do like drafts against each other for money, and literally we
Mm.
would just like pull the rares out, and there'd just be like piles of like commons and uncommons just like lying on top of the table. One, because Magic players are pigs and don't clean up after their mess, so there'd just be like we would just leave the piles of cards like everywhere on top of the tables. I remember we had an event at on the Queen Mary, like in Los Angeles.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, that was like the worst tournament because the rooms were terrible. The rooms were so small.
Oh,
Imagine being like on a small cruise ship sized room as your hotel, and they're
wow.
tiny. But yeah, they were complaining about us because literally there would just be like cards like scattered throughout every room of the Queen Mary. They're just like so mad at us. But we went back there quite a few times, so I guess they weren't that mad because we like probably like sold out the hotel like for a weekend every year. But oh man, they're just such a mess, and they'd be like always like the organizer would be like, please clean up after your mess. Like just because they would just leave like piles and piles of
Oh,
cards and
wrappers.
unopened
Yep.
wrappers and everything just around because no one cares about the commons and uncommons after you play our draft game. They just take the rares out or any uncommons that worth any money, just leave all the fodder because no one wants to lug it around. And I'm just like, oh my god, what a mess. Brings back lots of memories though.
We used to have the same problem at the gaming convention too. And finally the hotel was like, we're gonna put extra trash cans down here. We expect you guys to make sure you clean up your room before you leave for the end of the night. And then it took them about a day or two to realize, if you're gonna do that, you still need to empty those trash cans like twice a day. So we would fill the trash cans, and then the hotel would be like, "You gotta clean up your mess." And I'm like, "We got nowhere to put it, bro. You didn't empty the trash cans. We can't access your dumpster. What do you want us to do?" So, like, and they literally would have like this guy come down like 3 times a day and change the trash cans, and he would shake his head the entire time, like, "How do this group of people make so much trash?" But you put a ton of gamers in a room, like we would take over a convention center sized room to do these
Yeah.
things. So it was, but yeah, and that's not unique to Magic. Just so don't Magic players don't feel too bad. Just do better. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that for like every sort of game. Like everyone just makes a mess everywhere. I mean,
Oh yeah.
like, you just have all these wrappers and cards. Like, what the you gonna do? No one wants to haul around all the commons and stuff.
And if
Yeah,
you're opening a tabletop box for the first time,
yeah,
you're probably punching out cardboard pieces.
yeah,
And some of these games, I've got a game back here, the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. The box is like probably a good 6 to 8 inches deep, and over 5 inches of it was cardboard that you had to punch out like 50 things from them. So we generate a lot of trash in the
yeah.
gaming industry.
Wasn't there that one game that was on Kickstarter where you're supposed to like destroy the cards or whatever each, so you can only play it once or something?
There are games, unfortunately, like that. I've not touched those games because replayability is kind of important to me, which is
Yeah,
why I like card gaming. It's
yeah.
like card gaming and online gaming.
Well, New Year's is also among us. I think we talked
Yes.
briefly about what you want to do. Anything else that you want? Like thoughts on like where we could take the pod in the new year, or your other pod, or other sort of goals and aspirations for the new year?
The other pod has had a rough season because this is the first year I think since we've started doing it where both my team in the Chiefs and Craig's team in the Bengals have been notoriously bad and absolutely hopeless from like the get go.
I mean,
So it's been
you've
a
been carrying
rough
the weight on
season
that team. I was gonna say your team's been carrying the weight for them for quite a long time.
for a while. For a while. So it's it was a rough year on that end. So we're hoping that 2026 will be a better year. Um, I want to. I don't like making resolutions because nobody keeps resolutions, and they're
Yeah.
the same thing every year. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna go to the gym. Bitch, look at me. I am not losing weight at this point in my life. And the gym, I am not paying someone to find out that I can't lose weight at this point in my life. So I want to do I want to do some more things. I want to get more involved with charity. I feel like you mentioned it earlier. I feel like we are overdue to do a charity event. We just got to find something we want to do.
Yeah.
I do want to. I want to continue to do the pod and see the pod grow. So, I'm kind of a basic bitch in that respect. But I'd like to see 2026 be better than 2025 because 2025 was a rough ride for myself in some respects and for a lot of people we know. And so I would like to see it get a little bit better. What about you? What are you hoping for the next year there?
I might actually have to get a job soon, which just kind of sucks. I've been slowly looking at some form of employment. I've sent out some resumes and stuff, been rejected a lot, which is I don't think is that uncommon.
Oh, the market
Uh,
sucks right now.
yeah, I mean maybe something customer service oriented or something, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. The pod brings me a lot of joy. It's fun to just kind of hang out and do that. So having see it grow would be good. Obviously, if I get a job, going to be streaming less. Uh, I don't know, like no other real goals. Like maybe actually try to be a little active as opposed to sitting from my computer many
It's
many
fair.
hours a day. Like doesn't have to be much. Like maybe just like go for a walk or try to do some yoga or something, or I don't know.
You know, you know what you need? You need a job that you can stream. Like
Okay.
there's that lady who works in a pizza parlor. Pizza Princess G, and every day she just has a camera, a webcam in the corner, and she streams herself making pizza all day long. She's got a huge following. Mary's Milk Monster, she runs a goat milk farm, and she literally streams herself taking care of the goats. That's what Terry needs. Terry needs a job where he can still stream what he's doing and get paid for it.
I don't know if I want to make pizza or do. I don't know. I don't know what kind of job it would be.
Those are just two suggestions. I mean, you do you.
I think my best assets would be something where I get to like talk to people or coordinate with people. Like I was hoping to do it somewhere in the charity space where it'd actually be like for good use. But I don't know, not a lot of charities looking to hire people right now. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
no,
one of those
it's not great.
telemarketers be like, hello, have you donated to, you know, Cancer Canada this year? You know, we would appreciate your donation. I don't want to be one of those guys. I don't want to be a
No,
telemarketer.
you don't want to be a telemarketer type.
Yeah, I want to be someone that can help organize events, or at least or maybe a customer service for like somewhere that does like interesting things or good work that would be positive. Like I don't want to be like a cable rep be like, yes, your internet is down. Can you please try to reboot your router for me, please? I don't want to be one of
Can you
those
please
either.
can you please read the numbers on the screen next to where it says IP address?
Oh yeah,
And now I need you to top in the following.
I once got into like a relatively big argument with one of those internet people because they were stupid, and I called them out on being stupid, and then my account got flagged because I was like a troublemaker. Because
I had a friend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I want to
okay,
hear the end of this.
okay, yeah. So like the problem was like I go, I already tried all the things. Like I've rebooted my router, right, and all that. They're like, oh, okay, try rebooting your router for like 1 minute and see if anything works. It's okay, okay, fine. So we go through all the like the basic shit again, right, and then nothing changed. I go, I think it's on your side, right? I go, can you just check to make sure everything is okay on your side? Like, oh, let me just finish going through this. And they're like, can you unplug your router for 30 minutes?
The
I'm like,
script.
30 minutes. It power cycles in like 1 minute. I go, why the hell do I need to unplug it for 30 minutes? Can you please just try unplugging your router for 30 minutes? I go, if you could tell me the difference between unplugging my router for 30 minutes versus 1 minute, I'll unplug it for 30 minutes. They're like, excuse me, sir, please do not cause trouble. We just need you to unplug it. I go, can I get someone higher up, please? I'm like, there's no reason why I need to unplug this goddamn router for 30 minutes to power cycle and reset. They're like, please, sir. And they pushed me up, and then in the notes is like, thinks he knows IT is a troublemaker. I'm like, I understand basic IT shit, bitch. Unplugging the router for 30 minutes doesn't do fuck all. Yeah, so I got
And that's
flagged.
it amazes me everywhere I've ever worked. Because my brother works in IT, and I'm not a
Yeah.
computer idiot. So when something breaks, IT usually comes in, and if it's a new IT guy, they'll be like, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" And I'm like, "Yes, I've also tried checking for updates, running a system check on it, checking an internet speed check, and making sure that I'm connected to the server, and all of those are checked out fine." And people just stare at me like, "Oh, like yeah, that was the first six things you were going to tell me to do. I get it."
Yeah.
But quick IT support story. I had a friend who was a complete idiot with setting up a computer. She got a new computer. She gets it there and she cannot get on the internet with her. And she was using the cable provider. So I'm over there and I'm trying to walk her through it. And I'm on the phone with the support person. And the support person is like, can you try this? Can you do this? All the scripted things you were just discussing. And every so often the support person's going, she's not using a router, is she? And I would look at my friend and be like, do you have a router? And she's like, no, it just plugs into the wall. I said, so there's nothing between the wall and your computer on this cord. No. Cord's running straight from the wall to the computer. Okay. An hour I'm on the phone with support before they escalate me to the next tier. The next tier guy comes on, guides me through pulling up all of this IP information based on the cord, and goes, you're plugged into a router. And I'm like, are you sure you're not plugged into a router? And she's like, no, we're not plugged into a router. And the guy says to me on the phone, I swear to God, I'll never forget this. Sir, you seem like a pretty smart dude, but your friend is an idiot. Can you please follow the cord from the back of the computer? Because I guarantee you're going to find a router. And I said, sure, hold on. I'll check the back of the cord. And sure enough, I reached down and under the cord, under a pile of papers, there is a router. And I look at her and I go, what the fuck is that? And she goes, I don't know. That's what the computer plugs into. Do you remember the part where I said, is there anything between the wall and the computer? That is between the wall and the computer. And the dude says to me, what brand router is it? I'm like, oh, it's an ancient ass Linksys. And he goes, oh God, we don't support those. He goes, you want to fix this? Just unplug the damn router. I'm like, it wasn't even like Wi-Fi enabled. It was literally just because she had a roommate and the roommate had installed a router so that she could run a second plug off the internet connection. I was like, you wasted an hour and a half of my life because you don't know what a router is. And the cable guy support guy, his time. Thank you so much. She insisted there was no router in that house. Oh God, I was so angry. So angry. She never calls me anymore to help her with computer stuff. She calls other people now because she got I'd be like, just unplug your router.
Yeah. My dad is like, doesn't know anything about computers either, and he always calls me for support. Except like he always calls me support for Apple devices, and I don't own any Apple devices. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm also like an hour, like good, like 40 minutes away from him. My brother, who's like 10 minutes away from him, all Apple. Chooses never to bother him. He's like, I have a billing problem on my phone. I have this subscription. I go, I don't know. I don't know iPhone. So I had to like go and Google everything. I go, why don't you ask my brother? You literally go over to his house every day to help pick up his kids. You could just go and go, how do I solve it? You can ask the kids. The kids all have Apple stuff. I don't own one. I haven't owned an iPhone since my iPhone 4. It's only been 13 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I know. I go, I'm an Android person. I don't know how to solve this stuff. Literally, it'd just be me Googling it and trying to figure it out for you and then trying to walk you through it. And I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, oh, I'll drive over there. I'm like, why do you need to drive over here? It's just a phone. Like, oh
I can't help you.
I don't know. I'll literally just be me here Googling it. Let's just do this over the phone. It'll take longer, be faster than you driving over. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I had that problem recently with my mom because we have Sirius XM and she got a car that no longer has a radio installed in it. So I set up the app to play through her car's Bluetooth. I see her at Christmas and I'm like, so how's the app working out for her? She goes, oh, it doesn't work. What do you mean it doesn't work? She goes, well, the music doesn't come out of my radio like you said it would. So I go outside and I said, show me exactly what you do. And she gets in, she starts the car and she just points at the radio and goes, see, nothing's happening. And I'm like, Mom, you've got to open the app. The app isn't open on the phone. And she goes, well, you didn't tell me that. I'm like, I have to tell you to open a program in order to use it? Do I have to tell you to open a door to walk through it? And she opens the app and it immediately springs. I had it all set up on her phone. It's one channel on Sirius. She loves to death. She's a 60s on 6 fan. Had it all set. All she had to do was turn the car on and open the app. And she was fine. Autoplay was enabled. Everything set up. I was like, I can't. Sometimes technology and because I'm not an idiot with technology, I have such a hard time understanding why people struggle with it. And I hate that. I hate feeling like I can't be empathetic to people because everybody's different, but it drives me nuts. Like just do I have to tell you to turn on the TV to watch it? Like why isn't this clicking in your head?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, all of us have stories of having to do IT stuff for our friends because we're not.
If you have a great IT story, share it in the comments because we'd love to hear it.
I bet Chuck has like the best IT stories of how stupid.
Oh, well, he does it for a living, right?
I know. That's why the stories would be spectacular. Like I remember he told that story about the meeting room or whatever that got changed. I don't know if you heard it.
I know.
Essentially,
I don't know this one.
so essentially, one of the upper management wanted to change the name of the meeting room that they had set up from like I can't
Okay.
remember what the names were. So he just goes and changes the name of the meeting room with and switches it with another meeting room, and he doesn't like let IT know. So literally everyone's going to like the wrong locations for a while.
Oh God.
Just like, oh no, 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 this is not the meeting. So literally, like Chuck was in like a huge argument about why the hell do we need to change the names of the meeting rooms around? Because people were just going to like the wrong spaces for their meetings and stuff. And all like
Oh.
there was like all sorts of stuff, all sorts of problems. And after like I guess like a week or two of it, he just like took the sign off and just switched all the meeting rooms back and told the upper management person to screw off or something along those lines because it causing too much havoc. But I was like, oh my god, why would you ever do that?
In one of my roles, I had a similar situation where a boss decided that they wanted all the meeting rooms numbered, but they
Yeah,
were named things like second floor conference room, first floor conference room large, first room conference room small. And
yeah,
instead, he wanted them conference room one, conference room two, conference room three. And oh God, the chaos that ensued because everybody was used to going to the fourth floor conference room. Now all of a sudden it's conference room seven. We had no idea what the hell it was going. Oh God, that's brutal when people do stuff like that.
yeah.
Don't mess with systems at work, guys. Don't mess with working systems.
Let's leave the pod on that because pretty good time. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Leave your comment about horrible IT stories that you've heard in the past because I'm sure all of us have had them. And we will
Or
see you
anything
back.
really, anything we discussed.
Yeah, we will see you back in the new year, 2026 coming upon us. So have a good night, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Happy New Year,
Bye.
everybody.